Hello everyone, it's Anasika, and today I am going to be creating trifold cards, and I'm using the main idea from the Graphic 45 Volume 1 card kit for 2022. Now I started by cutting the base and the pattern paper according to the directions you get with the kit. And I also inked all the edges of my pattern paper because I just want it to look nice, and I do love an inked edge. And now I am just adhering the pattern papers to the card base itself. I cut the card base to 11 by 5.5, and I scored it at 2 3/4 and then 5.5. Then the pattern papers are cut down to 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, one piece, and then 5 1/4 and 2.5, and that is in 4 pieces. So I used one pattern for the, let's say, front of the card, I guess, and another one for the inside or back of it, depending on how you look at it. And I used both the patterned paper from the Wild and Free collection, as well as the Wild and Free patterns and solids. I just love the solids because they have such beautiful patterns, and when you want something that is a bit softer next to the beautifully patterned paper you have in the collection, these are oh so nice to have, especially in card making. Now that is all done, and I have all the pattern papers in place. Now I cut the little square image there from one of the pattern papers, inked the edges, and I'm just adding a bit of interest to the inside of the front flap, I guess. And then I wanted to use the Ephemera to create a focal point for the card, and I also inked everything with the same ink as I did with the pattern paper. I really like using these die cuts to create my own kind of image. Now of course you can fussy cut these from the pattern papers, but having them pre-cut makes everything go so quickly and beautifully. I absolutely love them. And the ephemera pieces have a wee bit of a shine to them, and I quite like that look. And now I have adhered these two together, and now I'm just adding liquid glue to the back of it and making sure that I only have liquid glue to the side that will be on the flap, not the one standing out. And to make sure everything is all right, I just turn it around and wiggle it until I think it's in the correct spot. Now that lion is sitting there like the king of the jungle. He is. I really like how that looks. Now I also wanted something else to the front, so I grabbed another piece from the ephemera pack. I thought it was going to be the giraffe, but then I was like, no, they shouldn't compete on the front, and this one was perfect. Wild. A great title as well. And then of course I inked those edges with the same ink as I had done before. And remember, if you have the card kit Volume 1 2022, you have all this information, and also you can go to the Graphic 45 site and look up the kit instructions, and you will see how she made it there with the actual kit. Now the papers that I'm using are not the same ones that are used for the kit, and I like that you can take an idea meant for a specific collection and you can actually use any collection you have. I really like this idea, and this card looks really fun. And now I just put some foam adhesive and put that on the front, and it opens oh so nicely. Now I wanted to add journaling, or spaces for journaling. So I used the same cardstock I did for the card base, and I'm just using some leftovers and making sure that they actually fit, so that I can put them in the card And this one measures 2¼ by 3 and then 2 by 3. And I measure it again. Yes, 2¼ ish. And then I ink the edges of these cream pieces as well, because, well, I do like inking. I might have mentioned that before, but hey, I do love it. And then I just adhere that to the inside of the card, really, and just make sure that when you cut these, that you make sure that the image that you have at the front is the main focus, not what you are sticking behind it. So I just make sure that it is behind the flap itself. And I have plenty of space to write down your greeting, as well as a lovely spot for images. And then I just couldn't stop there, now could I? I am adding even more stuff because, well, it is really hard not to use these pretty things. And I put this little one on the inside into the wild. And then I took these 2 swirlies, I guess you could call them, from the Ephemera pack, and just added a tiny bit of decoration to the front. I guess I just needed a bit more green for some reason. And now my liquid adhesive is being a wee bit difficult, but I manage. And I just place these where I think they will look pretty, and love these little things because tiny bits like that can add so much. And you don't have to work too hard to make it look pretty, which is even better. I'm just placing them where I think, and I'm just cutting these so they fit my creation. And liquid glue is very handy in these kind of tiny ones. And of course, like with any Graphic 45 project, I need my pretty pearls. And yes, I am of course using them on this one as well. And I'm using the silver ones just to add a bit of subtle bling and shine to the card itself. The only thing that I'm actually wondering now is basically figuring out where to put these pearls, because I do love them and I think they look so pretty and I want to use them all over the place, but I need to be mindful of where I'm placing them. And that is the pearls done, and the card is ready. So much to look at. Now, I created 3 other versions using information from the kit itself and then just adapting it to myself. I add a bit of clip to that one to keep it closed in case I wanted to add money to that card. I really like the Ephemera. The die cuts are beautiful. And then I did the same thing, but I stamped the image from the stamp set and fussy cut it. I really like that. It looks really pretty. And here I added a ribbon to keep the card closed. A very neat idea. All you have to do is add a bit of adhesive on the back and just tie a little bow. Now make sure to dig around in your Graphic 45 stash and use that pretty paper, because even though a kit is created with one collection in mind, you can use whatever you want. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to tag us if you create something with beautiful papers. Bye!